The TikTok ban, is it happening? Let's talk about it. So we all know about the TikTok ban. It's supposed to go into place on January 19, 2025. So TikTok and 8 content creators got together, filed an appeal, and it was listened to yesterday at the U.S. Circuit Court. The session was about an hour and a half long. I listened to the whole thing. And essentially, the U.S. is saying that TikTok is a data breach, a security threat, and that it does not violate our First Amendment right if they take it away or they do some type of censoring of it, which that's ridiculous. And then TikTok and the 8 content creators were saying that, one, it absolutely violates our First Amendment right, and which includes the freedom of speech and creative expression. So they were going back and forth, and the only thing that the U.S. really is trying to push very hard is it's a security breach. It's a security threat. We cannot have ByteDance, who owns TikTok, a Chinese company, having access to U.S. information and the 170 million users in the U.S. We cannot have them have access to that. That was what they talked about for an hour and a half. To me, that, in my opinion, the judge was leaning towards TikTok, but it was very, very, very detailed conversation for a very long time. My question is, if the U.S. is so concerned with our data and security threats, how did our social security numbers get hacked? How did people who have different phone companies have all of their information hacked? China had nothing to do with that. So why were they not on such alert with that? And there's supposed to be all kind of laws in place so that our information doesn't get hacked out of those systems. But they were, and they have been. Even with the credit bureaus, our shit's been hacked. My other question is, we do trillions of dollars of business with China. Why all of a sudden is now China a threat? But it's not a threat when we're exchanging money, right? Interesting. The other interesting thing I find is that the Biden-Harris are the ones that wrote this bill into law. And it goes into effect January 19th, 2025. The caveat is the TikTok app can stay in the US if a US company buys it, i.e. that's Facebook part 2, because you can keep your app, but we're gonna tell you what you can put on it. And if you're not okay with a US company owning TikTok, TikTok's gonna go away. So my thing is, we get all of our real news in real time from TikTok, and that's the threat for them. Because, you know, with the media outlets, that stuff is spoon-fed to us. There's things that we see on TikTok and we're like, hey, that's not on the news. There's a reason why. They want to control the narrative on every single thing we see, what we do, what we believe. They spoon-feed us all of this shit. Remember, Springfield, Ohio was not true, and it's true. The migrants in Aurora, Colorado wasn't true. It's true. So that's the problem. The U.S. doesn't care about our data. Not to mention that our data is stored on U.S. soil at a company called Oracle in their servers, and China doesn't have access to that. Not only that, TikTok US is a separate affiliate from TikTok ByteDance. All of those things. So the whole thing is just a mess. The interesting thing is, which you guys should be paying attention to, is the ban goes into effect, or the sale need to happen by January 19th of 2025. If a US company does not buy TikTok by then, the app is getting banned in the United States the day before the inauguration. I.e., if Trump becomes the president, that law is going to already be in place, and he's not going to be anything to reinstate TikTok. And if Kamala gets into office, it's not going to matter, because she's on the side that wants TikTok to either go away or be owned by a U.S. company. So while you guys are doing the cat dance, and while you guys are listening to the media tell us all of the shenanigans of how they caught the guy that tried to unalive Donald Trump on Sunday, and how the reason why things are going all chaotic at the Secret Service is because they're short-staffed, while you're listening to them tell you all that nonsense and doing the little cat dance, TikTok could potentially be going away. The judge did not make a decision. He will be making one soon. There's no one that has their hand up to buy TikTok. So if TikTok gets banned, what are you gonna do?